What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacTheMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and I am absolutely ecstatic to be talking to you about the 30th anniversary of Color of Night. Oh my god. So I found the film with audio description, and I think everybody, this is the 30th anniversary. We should all be talking about this film. This movie is awful. Audio description is fine. I don't know why we're not using it. I don't, probably because Color of Night is, I don't think anybody cares. We should. Um, I kind of feel bad because I wanted to find I wanted this to be like an underrated Bruce Willis gem, so I could be like, oh, well, Bruce Willis, I just really miss the guy. And it sucks that he's got aphasia, and I would really love to, his body of work is, and he has great stuff in his body of work. He has classics. Like, there's stuff that we can never take away from Bruce Willis, no matter what you feel about him as an actor. Die Hard is always going to be there, smacking you in the face over and over repeatedly, into submission until you just sit down. But he also, like, the last, I don't know, 20 movies in his career that all sort of went vaguely straight to video were all kind of like really bad. And it's sad that that's where his career went, but a lot of people are seeing their careers just like, why are they doing these movies? Can we maybe sidetrack them into some streaming shows? Is that possible? I feel like that was better. Like John Travolta releases a lot of like shitty straight to video movies, but at the same time, he was also in American Crime Story, and he was good in that. And so was Cuba Gooding Jr. And it's like that's their sweet spot. Can we just get them in more of that? Instead of them feeling like they have to make all of these movies that nobody will ever watch or care about or hear or remember. So in 1994, the same year he made Pulp Fiction, Bruce Willis was in Color of Night, which is okay. So if you're a child, which you're not, because my YouTube stats tell me I don't have anybody really under the age of 35 watching my channel, but Color of Night came out at a time of when we were having these psychosexual thrillers. Basic Instinct, Fatal Attraction, Sliver, these things that were sort of making people popular, where you take like a attractive young female actress and put them in this weird thing and incorporate these weird tawdry moments, almost like Skinamax, but like with stars and maybe like a little bit more plot. This is sort of like that. It's about a colorblind I don't know why he's colorblind. I don't know that it matters, but he's colorblind psychologist who, I gotta tell you, we'll get to that in a second. Let me finish the plot. Who basically he ends up, a friend asks him if he could join, and help this like support group thing that he's leading. That his friend like mysteriously dies, and they're like, the friend was like worried that like somebody was, he's like, I think it's somebody in the group. Somebody in the group is doing, it's like stalking me, blah blah blah. And then Bruce Willis is like, oh my god, it's somebody in this group. So he's trying to work his way through this stuff. Meanwhile, of course, there's this lady that he hooks up with that is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and played by Jane March, whose film career lived and died, I'm sure, with this film. Just immediately. They were like, no. We saw Color of Night. She just walks into audition rooms and they're like, we've seen Color of Night. Bye. Just leaves. And some of the most batshit crazy stuff happens. This film is so hilariously bad. It is so hilariously bad. Listen, suicide is not funny. Suicide in this movie is hilarious. There's this scene where Bruce Willis is talking to his patient, and he's like, and she, I don't know, I can't remember what he said to prompt it, but she's just like, you're right. And then she just like runs through his glass window and falls off the side of the building. Like, I'm, I'm like, first of all, if you're in a building that's tall enough to be able to do that, the glass pane is a little bit thicker than that. Because, oh my God, could you imagine if it wasn't? Like a bird flies into your window and suddenly, you can just fall right out of your building. I just, it's, it's just like, and it's the way, it's just some shitty line too. She's like, we're right before, you're absolutely right, doctor. I totally understand you. And she just like runs and just jumps out the window. And you're just like, what? What just happened? And it's just like, it's so random and it makes no sense. And there's so many things in this film where you're just like, who wrote this? And then like somebody directed this, and I looked at it and I clicked on it and I was like, this dude went on to write like Shattered Glass and The Hunger Games. He's got like his writing credits. I'm like, no, there's no way. He let his child write this. Like somebody else wrote this. I refuse to believe like a human being with any sort of like full capabilities wrote this film, because this film is so hilariously terrible. I love when a cop shows up, right? It's after his friend's death, and Bruce Willis is, he's trying to investigate, or what, he's, trying to still figure out like what's going on. And this cop shows up and he's like, I need to search the house. And Bruce Willis is like, do you have a warrant? And he's like, come on, man, let me in. Don't you want me to solve your friend's murder? And Bruce is like, oh, well, when you put it that way, yeah, okay, come on in. This is like, why even bother asking for the warrant? Like, what was even the point of the scene of like giving Bruce Willis like the ability to go, hey, I should ask for a warrant in this scene? And then the person's like, come on, man. You don't make me go, can I just come in? Like, we're chill, right? Like, no. Q, I asked for a warrant. This is a movie where I ask for a warrant. Go get a warrant, man. No, like, he just immediately gives up. He's just like, I don't know. You're right. You are trying to solve a murder. My bad. Just come on in without a warrant. It is so stupid. This movie is so profoundly stupid. I loved it. This is one of those films where, like, I want everybody to watch. I want to, like, get all of the other YouTubers. I want everybody to watch it. I want us to have Color of Night Day, where everybody just puts out a review of Color of Night, and like all the podcasters and everybody has like a deep dive into this film, because this is one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life, but it rebounds. So at the end of this video, I'm not going to say F, because I was laughing all the way through this. It was so hilariously bad that I actually ended up enjoying it. And Bruce has been in some films, like some of his newer films are just legitimately bad. Like, they're just like, I don't want to watch this film ever again. This film is really slow, it's not entertaining. This film is written so poorly and so hilariously bad, and has such bizarre performances from a host of supporting character actors who are, you've got Lance Henriksen, Brad Dourif, Scott Bakula, Eric LaSalle. Like, I mean, this is like the 90s Kevin J. O'Connor. Like, I mean, these are people who pretty much, this was their heyday, and they're all in this movie. Like, everybody's just like, wow, Color of Night just sucked us all in and ate us up, and never to be seen. Bruce Willis is the only one who really crawled out of this film and was like, I can breathe. Give me Die Hard with a Vengeance. He got his career back on track. He did a third Die Hard movie in the following year, and just never looked back. Oh my God, this film is awful. The audio description's fine. If you can find it with audio description, great. Watch it. It's a British. I watched it with UK audio description. Is Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it. It described everything as is. It's just that when it describes things, sometimes those things don't make any sense anyway. But that's the film. Like you realize immediately, like from the opening scene where you just have Bruce Willis standing there like talking to this woman, and like they're just and then she just runs and jumps out the window, and you're just like, what? But she has to like jump through glass to do it. Like she's just like, what? It's so weird. This film is so weird. Um, but I'm absolutely here for it. And I'll watch Color of Night all day, every day with people. Like if I can get them, if we can like, if I can do like a group watch, like a group podcast, and we can all sit around and talk about it later. I feel like this is a film. This is the film we're not doing. Like no one else is doing it. It has flown under the radar. It has a 5.2 on IMDb. I think it's because nobody's seen the film. Its Metacritic is a little bit lower, so it's like 37. I think just people skipped this movie. They just slept on it and they were like, I don't know. Did you see Color of Night? I don't even know what that is. I don't think anybody likes this movie. I struggle to find people who would legitimately think this is a good movie without it also being like over the top entertaining. You know what I'm saying? Like in the other way. So if you have a chance to watch Color of Night, I'm actually going to recommend it. I'd have to put rotten just because, like I'd have to make sure that my score reflected the fact that no, it's not a good movie, but I absolutely think everyone should watch this because it is the hottest of hot messes. It gets like a trophy, like a prize. So in terms of 30th anniversaries, I am so happy to be celebrating this 30th anniversary of a film I had never seen before. I'm so happy I did. I'm happy this is part of my life now. If it drops on physical media, I'm gonna buy it. Like if I can find a copy on with the audio description, I'm done. Signed, sealed, delivered. Bring it to me. I need more of this in my life all the time. I just need to put on Color of Night and be like, I'm having a bad day. What's Bruce Willis doing in Color of Night? It's just, wow. So I don't know what grade to give this film. It's just not good. Is that a grade? Can I give that a? It's not good, but I also want to give it like a warm hug, and I want to endorse it. Like I I I want to think of like instead of like uh I don't know. I want like my quote to be on the front of the DVD cover somehow, like being like, the best idea you will ever have is to watch this movie. I don't want to suggest that the movie itself is good, but that the experience of watching this film it will be rewarding. Um, Man, I hope the people at Good Bad Flicks have gotten onto this film. I want to let everybody know this is the movie, guys. This is the movie. It's flown under the radar too long. We have not talked about it. This movie is bizarrely, it's so weird. And it's so terrible. And the performances are so over the top. And the dialogue makes no sense. The way the film is set up and shot and edited and the ending and the killer reveal and everything, like nothing in here. I was like, it felt like it was cobbled together piece by piece from like 200 different scripts to try to make sense. And they were like, it felt like a film where like somebody wrote the first page and then they passed it to somebody else who wrote the second page and they passed it to somebody else who wrote the third page. And like slowly the film gets more and more bizarre and more incoherent. Like some sort of like Mad Lib experiment. It's just, I love it. I love this film. I do. I fully embrace Color of Night now. It's not a good film though, but I just need to be absolutely clear when I say I love it. It's also not a good film, but those two things, if there's anything that has that The Room has taught us, is that you can love something that is absolutely terrible in every way, shape, or form. So, yeah, there are definitely films in Bruce's resume that I would never want to watch again. I don't even think he's the problem here. Like, there's nothing like singularly about Bruce Willis's performance where I'm just like, man, this is his worst performance. Because I don't think that's actually even true. So even if I was on a Bruce Willis, because at the time I said I felt bad because I really wanted to watch like an underrated Bruce Willis gem. There's nothing really about his performance where you're like, no, it's him. It's on him. It's not really on him. It's kind of on everybody. Like, nothing about this makes sense. And you feel like it's also a film that got edited a lot. So, like, I mean, like, his performance might have made more sense when he was doing it. And then it just got chopped around a lot. Um, and there's only just so much you can do with some of these lines. Like I could give these lines to Ian McKellen and he'd have time he'd have a hard time with some of these lines. I mean, I it's just it's a weird movie, but man, happy 30th anniversary, Color of Night. Uh, I'm gonna give this film uh 2 thumbs up. That's so appropriate for the time period. I'm gonna do what Siskel and Ebert would. I'm gonna say it was a great time for all of the wrong reasons. For all of the reasons this like normal like filmmakers don't ever want their film to be. They're like, no. But for the same reasons that Halle Berry goes and accepts her Catwoman Razzie. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like because she has that sort of like self-awareness where she looks back on the film and she goes, yeah, this isn't what I wanted it to be. But I'm glad people are having fun with it. Um, so I'm glad she had some fun with it too in that year. So, oh, Color of Night. If you can watch it, watch it. That's it. That's all I got. 30th anniversary, 30 years of Color of Night, and I feel like this. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. You're gonna look it up, and you're like, there was a movie called Color of Night, and it's like, yeah, I remembered it. 1994. I was like, oh yeah, Color of Night. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, Color of Night. I've never seen this. Why did I ever see this? I like Bruce Willis as an actor, especially like his earlier work. All of his earlier stuff is like really good. I like it. Like this is like right in Bruce's sweet spot. This has got to be. Oh my god, I was wrong. But thanks for watching. Thanks for going on this journey with me, and I will see you guys on the other side.